Welcome to Second Pour. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Zane.
And today we're talking about
Natterjack.
Natterjack. Now this is an Irish whiskey again, right? It's our month of Irish whiskeys.
And so we want to talk about something that we've recently discovered.
Yeah, we did recently discover it.
Because of our good fellow friend, David.
Thank you, David.
Shout out.
But, you know, I think we've tried a little bit of this already.
Yes.
We've had more probably in a little bit.
Yeah, we've had more in a little bit.
But it's interesting. It's a new whiskey. You probably have seen it recently in your liquor store or at the grocery store, wherever you're shopping at for your liquor. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is this? There's not a lot of reviews out there on this yet.
Yeah, there's not. And so come join us as we give you our expert opinion.
We're not experts.
I'm about as expert as the next guy.
Yeah, we've had a lot of whiskey. I guess that makes us an expert. If that's the case, we're super experts.
So let's do it. So pour me up some of this flavorful bouquet of Irish greatness.
Now, the interesting thing is, at least, you know, it's only like $30, I think, for this whiskey. $40. How much is this whiskey, David?
I think it is 35.
So $35 for this whiskey, right? It actually has a real cork in it, which, you know,
that's great.
Sometimes we see a lot of twist offs even at this level of whiskey and a new whiskey. On top of that, they got this really giant toad.
Yeah, that is a Natterjack
toad.
toad.
And it's only, these toads are only in Ireland, I guess. That's at least where they're from.
Yeah, that's where they're from. That's where they're native.
I guess Scots don't get them. They don't cross the pond.
They won't. Well, it's more like just like a little.
It is the same country.
Oh God! Get out of my store!
Get out of my store! Okay. People have probably seen us do that multiple times now in the last month. Know. They're like, what is that from? If you're wondering,
Mike Myers,
SNL, 1990s when it was funny.
Yeah, back when it was funny.
Oh, Irish, Scottish, it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing, is it? Have a look at the map! There's Scotland, there's Ireland, there's the bloody sea! They're different now! Get out! Get out! Get out! This is not gonna be the map! Get out!
Anyway,
back
let's talk
to the
about this ish.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. It is a standard 40%,
yes,
80 proof, standard Irish whiskeys, triple distilled. One interesting note about this whiskey, they do all the aging like you normally would with an Irish whiskey, except on the finish, they put it in new oak barrels, virgin barrels that have never had anything in it.
From California.
From America. So it's interesting. Nobody's doing that. And I think that's what they think it gives it its difference. I know the new distiller they have there is a guy from Boulder who's doing whiskey for them. They hired him to be their master distiller, and this is the result. So
I say we nose this whiskey.
Let's nose this whiskey.
Nose it, yes. Okay. I catch some kind of fruit. Now, that's because I'm a weirdo.
I almost want to throw out. I don't want to throw it out yet because every time I throw something out,
you say like, green banana.
I swear. It. So you tell me what fruit are you getting, and I've got a letter in my head that I will say it starts with. As soon as you tell me the fruit, I'm gonna say the letter.
Apple.
P.
If you smell pineapple,
I smell pear.
Okay, now pear apple.
Pear apple, apple pear, pear apple pear, pineapple apple pear, pineapple. Wasn't that a song?
Pear, pineapple, apple, pear.
See, I'm like when I'm saying apple, I mean kind of like Red Delicious almost.
I can see what you're saying. That sweetness right there in the back, right there.
Yeah, it's like if you could smell mealy, that's that smell.
Let me get really in there, right?
Yeah, how far can your nose go into a Glencairn?
Now that is the nice.
Next on Whiskey Pop, we're going to stick our nose in a Glencairn.
You know, the nice thing about Irish whiskey is at least not so
abrupt and abrasive,
harsh.
Right?
Yeah,
for sure.
You really can get your nose right in there. I heard recently people who first started drinking whiskey, if they did that, they'd pass out. Clearly,
yeah,
we don't have that problem.
Is that really a thing?
I mean, can you imagine passing out from smelling whiskey? Now, I'm not getting the apple anymore that maybe you were smelling.
No, I don't taste that at all. I mean, I'm getting like a rich cocoa-y almost in there.
Really? Now, I am getting kind of a smooth, buttery that was very typical for Irish whiskey.
Yeah, I think the buttery, I would translate that to be that.
But you know, that's just
heavy cocoa-y kind of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying chocolate. That's not what I'm getting at.
You know, one of the things they say on their website is tobacco. That tobacco is there on the back end of that.
I have a lot of tobacco.
You're getting a lot of tobacco.
Yeah.
Now you drink cigars, right?
I smoke cigars.
I was wondering if you catch that.
No, it's just so early in the morning for you. Hey, you're already drinking a little too much day drinking.
It's 1:15 in the afternoon. Come on, man. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So I do smoke cigars, and I smoke a lot of different cigars, different
So
flavors.
it would
like
make sense that
this.
you
So,
would pick up tobacco pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I can definitely get that. But what do they say?
Okay, so for the nose, right?
Yeah.
They're saying apple, cinnamon, vanilla.
And vanilla.
We kind of nailed the apple.
Yeah, the vanilla, that's tough because
Yeah, vanilla. If there's vanilla in it, it's a really mild, super mild vanilla.
Because, you know, what I actually would say that a lot of the flavor palette of this is because of that new oaks. It's that kind of rawness. Tastes raw. It doesn't taste rough. It's actually pretty smooth.
It tastes new. It's like, you know, when you go in and you smell freshly cut wood, like
fragrant wood.
Yeah, the smell of wood,
Yeah.
right? Just whatever that wood might be, you kind of pick that up just slightly. I almost feel like since I know that it's a new virgin cask, that you can smell the new.
It's almost
wood.
like I sat there and I was like cutting wood.
And you smell the sawdust blowing
up in your face. That's
Yeah.
probably a really good accurate smell.
Okay, so on the taste, they say orange zest, taste of cedar, which might be what we're talking about there, and then a little bit of tobacco.
I could drink this like water,
It has a little punch though.
but it's got a spice on the finish.
It's really oily, right?
No, yeah, it is.
And it kind of sticks.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna say this is like we've had a lot of Irish whiskey.
This month for sure.
This drink's different than anything else we've had.
And I think that's been, so there's been some, the reviews I've seen, which are like ones and twosies.
Oh,
out
that's
there.
terrible.
There was a somebody else who did a review. They just bashed it from the start. I mean, it's like they immediately went in saying they're not going to like it kind of thing, because I think it's not following the Irish whiskey rules.
Well, let me ask you this. Just because it's made in Ireland,
Yeah.
does that mean it has to taste like every Irish whiskey?
No, because there's plenty of that whiskey. So these guys are
Yeah.
trying to do something a little different, and they're doing it in a neat little marketing way. Like some people, why is there a toad on it? Well, why does it matter?
Because it's awesome.
It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
you know? And so, I mean, those kind of things don't really feed into the whiskey itself. I think they're trying something new. They brought in a bourbon guy
Yeah.
to be their master distiller, and he's doing some new stuff with Irish whiskey that we haven't seen done before.
Here's
What's
the thing.
not to like?
I mean, you're absolutely right. What's not to like? I mean, I'm sitting there thinking about I've had the finish go long on me here for a while, but it's
Still there, right?
but it's fresh. It's almost refreshing on the finish.
Is it like an Irish summer? Because that's what they say the finish should be.
Okay. We have a 1 to 5 finger rating system.
That's right, 1 to 5 finger rating system.
And we like to put in how we enjoy it.
Yeah.
What we,
Sure.
mixed with the cost of the bottle.
$35 bottle.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna say this is a 3-finger whiskey for Zane because it is different enough
That piques your interest?
that I believe that if it was sitting in my collection, there would be a day, that's boring, that's different. Let's go ahead and go that route today. And that's why I would want to pick it up.
I can see that. For me, I feel like it's a fairly new whiskey, even in taste.
Oh, it's young.
It's not aged or anything.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what some age statements of this taste like. For me, it's a 2-finger.
That's not terrible.
That's
it's
not
still great.
that's not a bad review. That still means that if I saw it, I would drink it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It does not deserve the bashing that I've seen some early reviews have been.
No, that's the thing. When I'm saying 3-finger, it's because I was actually excited for us to do this.
Yeah, it's a neat whiskey.
Yeah, and because we had some, and it's fun to review it because I do enjoy this. It's
Sure.
really good.
Sure.
And let's face it, in a world of just
In a world.
in a
In a world where whiskey tastes like all the other whiskeys, you have Natterjack.
and you know what? I think people do their whiskey reviews off of like their initial first swallow
Yeah, I think you're right.
instead of just let's let this mature in our thought process before we talk about
We
it.
should have like an episode soon where we talk about how you should taste whiskey.
That is actually a great.
Because I think you're right. I think a lot of people dive into a new whiskey and go, I don't like that. And then you're like, man, how can you say you don't like it yet?
So I'm gonna say this, Natterjack. They did good.
It's a good buy. It's $35. It's a nice, good, tasty little premium whiskey. It's not going to break the bank. It's definitely something different than all your standard Irish whiskeys. but it's still got that heritage in there.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
for sure.
it's still going in a pot still, people.
Somebody knows what they're doing. when they
So absolutely. So do you agree with us? Have you had Natterjack? If you haven't, we recommend you go out and grab a bottle. Hey, you're helping out a new distillery. It's a new whiskey. And if you're kind of those guys that are like, I don't know if I like Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
I kind of like bourbon. This might be one of those things that kind of helps you enter into the Irish whiskey world.
Yep, and by all means, share it with friends. Finish the bottle with a good group of guys, gals, and make sure that you get their feedback too.
Yeah, I mean, finish the bottle and then decide if you like it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, normally by the time I'm at the bottom of a bottle, I really like it.
So, truth be told, we helped David finish his bottle,
So
and
we might end up helping to finish this one too. So in the meantime, you continue to be cool this week, and we'll see you next week for another whiskey review.
Yep. On well, this is
Second pour.
Second, I get confused now.
That's because we've been drinking. Cheers.
It's only 8 a.m.
It's 1:30.